Hello and welcome. My name is Vakile. We are going to start on this topic called African guitar rhythm playing. This is by far one of the most important topics that you can ever have in any guitar style. Playing rhythm. Playing rhythm enables you to figure out what the music is all about, and it's I'm gonna use in this program. I'm gonna use the guitar as well in the background, as well as explaining my screen there. So first off, we want to know what is rhythm and what is its role in African music or in any kind of music for that matter. Now, a rhythm ranges from continuous rhythmic strumming of chords, notes, diads, and broken playing of the same, which are chords, diads, and even arpeggios, and arpeggiation of chords. This would comprise notes and empty spaces called rests in musical jargon. Now, a rest, let me play something with some rests. Now you can hear that there's some rest there. The unfortunate thing about the rhythm that I've used, the effect that I've used is it's got a reverberation. So you can hear the reverberation in the spaces that I am not strumming. So this is what I mean by rest. Okay, and the notes is where I strum. Okay, so what is the role of rhythm in African music? The role of rhythm is to give the direction for the entire piece of music. You're given direction of how to put bass in there. Sometimes it comes up with, in fact, you come up with a rhythm that would dictate how drums are played, and you also come up with solos after listening to the rhythm. So the rhythm is a very vital item in music. So you need to master this. Now, my second, if you go down there, we're going to explore methods of playing a rhythm guitar. I already showed you some methods of playing a rhythm guitar in some lessons before. I'm just gonna repeat them here. You can play solos, or solo notes to produce your rhythm, and you can also play. In the solo notes, you can play scale notes, or you can play random notes, mixing scales, which I would call scale hybridization. We're going to look at scale hybridization when we deal with the lead guitar. It's a very important thing. And then you can also play rhythm by using techniques. Now, by solo notes, I mean now solo notes are very beautiful if you want to play many guitars or if you want to produce polyrhythm. Okay, this is one of the ways for producing polyrhythms. You play solo notes. Now, techniques are things like trills, sliding technique, like I'm showing you vibrato, pull-offs, hammer-ons, and we're going to tackle techniques in their own right. This is a very big topic. Techniques, guitar techniques, it's a very big topic. So I'm going to reserve another series of techniques that are used on the guitar. But just to give you a feel of what I'm trying to say here, if you're playing it, some trills, for example, okay, you can hear that trill there. That's a trill then. Okay, you repeatedly hammer on and pull off on a knot, fretting another. Or you can do that with the open knot. Okay, so that's what it is all about. Now let's move on. This is an introduction, by the way, and we're going to. I'm just going to be rushing through there because I'm not actually showing anything but the topics. Okay, you have playing chords as one of the methods used to form rhythm. You can strum full chords, you can strum partial chords. Strumming full chords, I'm playing here the chord of G flat, and I go to the fourth, back to the root, and to the fifth. Okay, that's strumming full chords. You can also arpeggiate these. You are arpeggiating them. You can also create in all these methods, you can actually create a polyrhythm if you want to. Then harmonization of scales. Harmonization of scales. I can give you an example here. Uh, this is an Alec Macheso. I'd call it that lick there, or that phrase there is from Alec Macheso. So it's a harmonization of the major scale there, and he was using triads. And so that's harmonization of scales. I have a lot here to show you on harmonization of scales. Then we have partial triad playing. You can play triads partially, and you can also split chord chords into dyads or into single notes. Playing tetrads. Tetrads are 4-note chords, like sevenths or sixths or 8, 9, and then polychords with more than in fact, a tetrad is also a polychord. You can have 13ths of ninths, tenths if you want, 12ths as well if you want. Okay, there's nothing that can stop you from playing those. So that's polychords. And let's go on to the other method. You can play triads. Triads are 3 notes, basically formed from a 1, a 3, and a 5. But you can also have some suspended chords with a 1, a 2, and a 5, or a 1, a 4, and a 5. And these are in what we call tertian harmony. Tertian harmony is when you create chords by moving in the cycle of thirds. Now, with a suspended chord, you have broken the tertian chord formation, the tertian harmony. So I will explain all those. We have other harmonies that we can use, like quartal harmony or quintal harmony, that we can use to create some triads. So triads, for example, I'm giving you a triad of like G. Then I can play the C. Then I can go back to G, and I can go back to I can go up to D. Okay, that's a 1 4 5 there for you. Progression there for on triads. Needless to say, you can also strum them instead of picking. Okay. Now let's go on to the other method of playing dyads slash double stops. Dyads are intervals. Now in this group we have simple intervals, which are created from from the root to the octave. So seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths. For example, thirds in the key of let's say key of G. You can play those partially, or let's just play the whole thing. You can strum them. So, needless to say, you can form any other types of. I've done it on the first and second string. You can use other strings like the, for example, picking randomly here the fifth and the fourth. Okay, that I'm playing thirds there. You can play fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, and octaves. Fifths, on fifths, there are lots of rhythms formed on fifths, African rhythms. Listen to this one. So these are fifths. Okay, you can mix fifths and fourths. You can mix fifths and thirds, or any other mixture that you want there. And octaves are very important as well. In the key of let's play them in the key of back to the key of G here. Okay, that's the key of G there. Octaves, they can produce a very nice sound which is distinctive. Now from intervals, you also go on to compound intervals. These are intervals that are more than above an octave. So I've actually included double intervals here. Double intervals. So actually running from the 9th, 10th, 11th, So if I'm gonna put here, if I'm gonna use the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 14th, and to the 15th, these are these are compound intervals that you can play. Now, just to give you an idea of the double interval, is this one. This is a double octave. Okay, those are two. I'm playing these two strings, the sixth and the first string. I'll show you on the guitar and on the fretboard how to play these things. So let's go on to super intervals. Super intervals. Let me just play a super interval. A super interval is something from the 15th, which is a double octave, to you're now within the third octave. I will hold this B here constant. This is B, and then I can play an octave, a double octave. Now, if I add a note there, you can hear that it's 16th and the 17th, and then 18th there. Okay, so you can use those to create your rhythms. Now you can mix these methods, apply techniques, and you can play also some what is called broken rhythms. I've shown you some broken rhythms in the first instance there, where I was stopping and putting some gaps, which are called rests in the rhythm. Okay, I'll also show you settings for polyrhythm techniques, so that you can be able to come up with your own polyrhythm techniques, which can be done when you can be created when you're strumming or when you're picking. Any method of picking can create can let you create some polyrhythm. Okay, now this is what we have in section 1. In section 2, actually in section 2, I'm going to show you methods of creating progressions. Now, in this, I'm going to show you chord melodies. Now, I'm going to show you the harmonization of scales, 7-note scales, or 8-note scales, which are octal notes, octal scales, or octatonic scales, heptatonic scales are 7-note scales, and hexatonic scales are 6-note scales, and I can also use the pentatonic scales to create, to harmonize the scale and then create rhythm. Okay, this is the thing. Harmonization of a scale, for example, you can harmonize it with this is a big topic, by the way. Harmonize, you can harmonize with chords, notes, triads, tetrads, and even techniques. You can pick a technique to do that. For example, if you harmonize with a technique, you can actually create a sequence. A sequence. I'll show you this one in the key of G. That's a sequence there. We can actually play it on the first and second strings. This is another sequence. Okay, you can play that. Or let's start from. I'm doing that with thirds. That's harmonization. So it's an example of harmonization. You can also play progressive. You can have some progressive movements or back and forth movements. Now you can play in cycles. Cycle of fifths, cycle of first of all, cycle of fifth, cycle of fourth, cycle of thirds. You know, so you can pick a cycle of any interval that you want and play with that. Then we have chromatic motions. Chromatic motions are very important. Now you can hear that chromatic, that's chromatic motion. Okay. You can also do some tone motions in the actual like scale if you want. Let's pick the scale of G. Okay, you're actually singing a melody there using the scale. Those are the tone motions. You can also create a melody from your scale. Say in the key of G. So that's a melody there. Okay, now we go on to the next section that we're gonna go to the main rhythm guitar techniques. We have this is the big thing that I told you I'm gonna show you here. We have finger strumming. If I strum a chord with finger, the first finger. Of course, this is some muting, just partial muting there of the strings. And you can also finger pick. Finger picking. Oh, this is a very Buena song. Okay, that I've just played here. I'm using fingers. Left hand string muting, which is and plectrum. Let's listen to the plectrum. I'm playing the same day. I'm gonna. Now it produces that. I also have alternate picking, alternate strumming. Now all strumming is going to be and picking are going to be called. They are derived from alternate, either alternate picking or alternate strumming, and you can leave out some other, either a down motion or an up motion. Alternate is when you go up down up down up down. So you can partially go up or partially go in. So it means any type of picking is created from alternate picking. That's the basic picking that you should know. And you can create any other rhythms. Like, listen to this one here. Okay, it's got some partial picking there where I don't strum the whole chord. The first one is jump, it goes the whole chord, which is the whole chord. And then I pick partial chords there. That's strumming. It comes from alternate picking by suppressing the other moves, the down moves, and I've stopped some up moves as well, so that I won't strike strings when I'm going up. So alternate picking is very important. You can create any other picking from alternate picking. Okay, now let's go on to the next one, which is going to be an important thing here. Let's go down. Going down section 5. In section 5, in fact, let's go back to this one. Section 4. In section 4, the planning of rhythm. Planning of rhythm. Planning of rhythm is I can actually create a piece of music by first clapping. You can hear that rhythm there. Ga, 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 ga. You know that's very important. Then you can take that rhythm to the guitar and you start playing it. Putting chords there or intervals or arpeggios or triads or tetrads, whichever way you want to put. You can put those things there, and then you can start hearing something coming out, and you can add other guitars. The good thing about guitar is you have to start it for you to create the next move. Okay, so this topic you can do it by tapping your foot as well, using drum prompts or using solo prompts, using melody prompts. I can come up with a melody. Like, let's play an old melody from. So this is a melody that I've just produced, and it's a rhythm. Now from there I can just go on. If I whistle it, so the other thing I can put here, you just whistle it, or hum it, and or think about it, think it out. So these are the methods. You can just think them out and you go and put them on the guitar. Now the next section is music theory. In music theory, I'm going to show you the actual things that we call music. When we clap, what are we really doing? What type of note are we having? There are notes and half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, 64th notes. You can go on and on. Now, in between, there are also notes there. Here, I'll show you accidentals in pieces of music, the time signatures, are very important. Time signatures are very important. So this is it's a very big, music theory is not, let me not call it very very big, but it's a very short, session which can be shown in one chapter, and then you can expand it as you go. I'll present it in a very simple way, and then you can be able to articulate everything that I say there, and to put those things into your head, so that as you play, you think, okay, I'm playing 16th notes, or now I'm playing half notes, that kind of stuff. And I'll show you the symbols and everything in music, so that you can understand. But remember this: it's not about the theory of music. It's about your creativeness. The theory of music helps you to go into areas that would otherwise not go without the theory. You know, you'll be limited. It helps you to expand your capabilities. Thank you very much for listening to this. We've come to the end of the introduction to African guitar rhythm playing. My name is Vakile, and I meet you in the next sessions, where I'll be playing the guitar and you'll be seeing the fretboard, and I'll come up with some diagrams as well to show you, so that you can learn your guitar in the comfort of your house on YouTube. Thank you very much. Bye.